So gradient. Gradient is how steep the line is. Okay, and you've done this before in your GCSE. And basically, the higher the gradient, the steeper the line. The least the gradient, the less steep. So a gradient of 4 is going to be steeper than a gradient of 0.5. And you can also have negative gradients. Now, to find the gradient of a line, it's dead simple. Basically, doing the change in y divided by the change in x. Now, the algebraic way of writing this is shown here. Okay, so it's either x1 minus x2 divided by x1 minus x2, or y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, really common mistakes with gradient is by accident doing change in x divided by change in y. So make sure you just check your calculations when you've done to make sure you've done change in y divided by change in x. And the other thing that people make mistakes on is they do b2 take away, y2 take away y1, and then on the second one they do x1 take away x2. You've got to be consistent through both. So it's probably a good idea to label which one you're going to have as number 2 and which one as number 1. So let's just have a look at a quick example. So find the gradient of the line joining 5 minus 7 and minus 3, 0. So plot these, 5 minus 7 and minus 3, 0. So there's those 2 points, and we're asked to find the gradient of that line. Now, as I said, it's a good idea to label which one you can do as number 2 and number 1. So I'm going to do this as number 2 and this is number 1. So I'm going to do y2 minus y1, the change in y is divided by x2 minus x1, the change in x. So y0 take away minus 7 over minus 3 take away 5. Now remember, a minus minus gives you a positive, so that's 7, and minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8. And just tying that up is minus 7 over 8. Now that is the gradient of those two, the line joining those 2 points together. So remember, the gradient is just the change in y's divided by the change in x, and it's how steep a line is.